Anka. Stay tuned for updated real news.
Hello, Anka Daily News viewers. I hope you're all healthy and well. As the Anka Daily News team, today we bring you stunning news from one of the most intense and bloody fronts of the war. In recent days, the conflict between Russia and Ukraine has been witnessing its most critical moments since the beginning of the war. Especially the news coming from Russia's border regions contain developments that could completely change the course of the war. Ukraine's counterattack capacity has reached a point where it is so effective that it has unsettled the Russian military strategy. At this point, a striking news from the Rylsk region reveals the dimensions of the war once again. According to Russian sources, a Russian military convoy was targeted with cluster munitions in an attack in the Rylsk region. A cluster munition is a war munition consisting of small bombs that are densely distributed in a specific location and affect large areas. As a result of this attack, the Russian military convoy was reportedly completely destroyed. Such a large loss of life since the beginning of the war could seriously affect the course of Russia's war against Ukraine. But what were the strategic moves behind this attack? What is the Ukrainian army aiming for with such attacks? We will look for answers to these questions together. Before moving on, here's a small reminder. As the Anka Daily News team, we strive to bring you the latest developments regarding the Russia-Ukraine war. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss our daily reports and explanations. We also read all the comments you leave on our videos. Please continue to share your ideas about our content in the comments section. Tell us what content you would like to see on the Anka Daily News channel. Let's start if you're ready. Anka Daily News reports. As of nowadays, clashes broke out in Malaya Lochna, which Ukrainian forces captured. This is considered one of Ukraine's boldest moves since the beginning of the war. While Russian forces are heavily defending the area in an attempt to halt the Ukrainian advance, Ukrainian troops remain determined to seize strategic points. Malaya Lochna could be one of the critical turning points in the war, as the loss of control in this region could directly threaten Russia's border security. According to initial reports from Russia, a Russian military convoy was attacked near Oktyabrski, east of Rylsk. Following this attack, Russian sources provided striking information about the situation in the region. According to video footage from the scene, 13 military Euro and Kamaz trucks loaded with infantry were ambushed by Ukrainian forces. The trucks were hit by heavy weapons and destroyed. Many soldiers were killed in this attack. According to eyewitnesses, more than half of the vehicles in the convoy were destroyed, a rare loss in Russian military history. The convoy appears to have only been carrying infantry. It is reported that each truck was carrying platoon-level soldiers, and in total 3 to 4 companies, that is to say a full battalion, were destroyed in this attack. This is described as one of the bloodiest and largest attacks since the beginning of the war. There is a strong possibility that the attack was carried out by HIMARS rocket systems, which once again demonstrates the effectiveness of Ukraine's military operations against Russia. The statements made by Russian military sources about this attack show how critical the military situation in the region is. Such attacks can seriously affect Russia's military tactics and operational capacities. How Russian forces respond to this attack can shape their future strategies, could have significant impact on the course of the war. On the other hand, the fighting of Ukrainian forces near Sudzha and Korenevo continues. The fighting in these areas has intensified with the aim of seizing control of strategically important crossing points. The Ukrainian army is pushing Russia's defense lines with its offensives at these points and making serious efforts to push back Russian forces. This could further weaken Russia's military presence in the region and accelerate Ukraine's advance. Ukraine's advances in Sudzha and Korenevo could change the course of the war. The intensification of fighting in these areas shows that both sides are pushing their military capabilities to their limits. Russia's losses in these areas are large enough to affect the overall course of the war. How the Russian military authorities respond to these losses and how they plan their future operations will be one of the most important factors that will determine the fate of the war. The Russian offensive to retake the captured part of the Kursk region has increased the intensity of the war. Russian television channels have confirmed the start of this operation, while military activity in the region is increasing rapidly. However, this counteroffensive is proving more difficult than expected for the Russian army. This operation, launched from the Sudzha region, is confronted with the solid defense lines of Ukrainian forces in the region. According to Russian military sources, the Ukrainian army continues to maintain a strong presence in the surrounding villages, which is hindering the Russian advance. The Russian army has launched a comprehensive operation to retake this captured strategic area. The offensive, which started from Sudzha, aims to break Ukraine's military presence in this area. However, Ukrainian forces have established strong positions in the region, making it difficult for the Russian army to advance. The ongoing clashes in the villages around Sudzha prevent the Russian army from making further progress and slow down the pace of the operations. Russia is using a large-scale military force for this counteroffensive. Tanks, armored personnel carriers, and artillery units are heavily deployed in and around the Sudzha district. Air support operations are launching heavy attacks on Ukrainian positions. However, the Ukrainian army is effectively using its resources to counter these attacks. In particular, portable air defense systems and anti-tank missiles provide an effective defense against Russian forces. On the other hand, an interesting incident in the Kursk region has attracted attention. A Ukrainian unmanned aerial vehicle has used a powerful fragmentation warhead to hit a Russian Mi-8 helicopter in the tail section. This incident shows that the war is being fought with increasingly sophisticated and technological methods. The condition of the helicopter is currently unknown, but it has reportedly not been operating in the area following the attack. Such incidents prove once again how effective unmanned aerial vehicles can be on the battlefield. In particular, high-precision systems such as unmanned aerial vehicles can change the course of the war. This attack on the Russian Mi-8 helicopter is considered as another factor threatening Russia's air superiority. Such technological attacks are expected to increase as the war continues, further complicating the balance of war between the parties. What do you think? How will the situation in the Kursk region take shape in the coming days? What is Ukraine aiming with this operation? Why did the Russian troops' defenses collapse? What will be the consequences of the downing of the Russian helicopter by an unmanned aerial vehicle? Let us know in the comments. We read and care about them.